Doug has 16 square pieces of wood. Each piece of wood has a side length of S. Total area of all 16 pieces of wood is 400 square centimeters. Create a quadratic equation to represent this situation. So the key word here is quadratic, which means it could be an area problem, which this is, or it can be some sort of a quadratic function problem, which creates a parabola. But this is an area problem. And so an area is going to be length times width, or base times height, or something that gives you a value squared. It says he's got 16 square pieces of wood, and they each have a side length of S. So we could model this by putting a little square piece of wood with a side length of S. And if it's square, that means both sides are S. So this is actually equivalent to 1 square piece of wood. 1, and we'll just say this is S squared. And there are 16 of these. So I could do this 16 times, add another 15. But since there's 16 of them and I have just one here, I'm going to write 16 S squared. And this is going to be equal to 400 square centimeters. And that's it. So we could continue to solve this, though. We're going to undo the 16. That's being multiplied with division. And so this is S squared or X squared. S squared is equal to 400 over 16. Take the square root of both sides. And that is your answer. The square root of S squared is S. And it's going to be a plus or minus, the square root of 400 is 20. The square root of 16 is 4. Jason throws rocks off a mountainside and it hits the ground. So we can kind of think of a mountainside. Here he is. And he's throwing a rock, and the rock is going up and it's coming down. Can be modeled by the equation 16t squared plus 32t, where t is the time and d is the distance the rock falls. Write an equation to model this scenario if he hits 128 feet below the cliff. Alright, so first off, I don't think I modeled this correctly because this is a positive 16, so he should be a happy face, but that's okay. We're gonna write this out. The distance below the cliff is 128, and so we're just asked to write this out. If he throws in at 16t squared plus 32t, and the rock's 128 feet below him, here's our quadratic equation, and we would solve now for t.